Go! Deep Rivers!
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Come on, set. 30 base.
Watch the slants.
Recon, 132 fighter. 5.
On 3rd down, Meredith looking deep downfield. That's caught at the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They give him a gain of 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. They moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
At the Colts, 50, plant.
55. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Get it.
Looking to throw. Meredith. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. From 8 yards out as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts have taken the lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with it?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Yep.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
14, Dolphins 7.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
53's the money. 53. Check 53. Get that quarterback, D-line.
Hey, Alpha.
D-line, get
Snap.
From the gun, Meredith. He's going to look deep for more and unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
2nd and 4. He finds Taylor, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Check.
They'll try the left side. Jefferson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
Hang too soft.
He can't hang.
They're going to look to throw. Past the 20. Going right side here, and that's complete. That goes for a gain of 31. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Well, a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Matthews, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. He can run for it, and he will. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11th. The keeper good for only 4, and that's going to lead to a 4th down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
53.
Hey, Charlie.
53 is the mic. Come on, D. Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Operating from the gun. Meredith, he sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. 46 yards.
Go. Snap.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Time to go, night.
Go.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Let's get it.
Here we go. Set. 8. Read.
I'm coming for you. You mine.
Hey. High 7.
55. Check. 55. Mike. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Hey,
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL.
53. Mike. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you.
Hey, Sam on.
Kill.
Deep grip.
To throw on 3rd down, Meredith. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. On play action, they'll throw. And he finds his target. It's Matthews. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stick.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
But this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
The Colts send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This will be taken at the 10. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about clean.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And an alley to run. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
This is taken at the 10. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Check 55 to Mike. Go, go, go.
5.
To throw on 2nd down. Meredith nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down.
29 is Mike 29. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
From the gun, Meredith. And he's got his target. That's more. And 21 yards there as they convert on third. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check it out.
Hey, zoom.
29 is Mike 29. Hey, that's good.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Shoot.
Hey. Hey, Echo.
You got motion man.
Operating from the gun, Meredith airing it out deep for Smith. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now a handoff looking right. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Hey, let's get there.
Go.
53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Here we go. Kill.
6-6, pull it high.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Break, 80 weapons. 53. You're out. Time go. He's get it.
Right back to him on 1st down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. An 18-yard touchdown grab as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jefferson, and he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They run with Taylor. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
60 Pittsburgh. Bravo.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Colts send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Coming to you.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
55, 955. Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
Yep.
955, 955. Come on.
Hey, Alpha.
Throwing on 1st down. Meredith looking here for Smith downfield. And that's caught inside the 30.
We got this.
3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, exit.
29 is Mike. Mike 29.
Yes, yes.
29 is Mike. Mike 29. Don't get nervous.
From the gun, Meredith. Flush to his right. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
60 outlaw, blue draw quarter.
Defense. Let's go, defense. Hey, here we go.
Hey, Haywood. Go.
53 is the mic. Here we go.
Off play action. Meredith. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium.
Let's go now. 8, read.
Check 53 is mine. So we got man. Watch the safety creep.
Let's go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Meredith, nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Run for Pollard. And he'll be taken down at the 34. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Stepping up, he'll try and run. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
At the 44-yard line. A gain on the play. And the Dolphins first down.
Ready. 61. Matchbox. Lights. Who that? Let's go.
Off the play fake. Meredith. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league run right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Now a man open down the middle of the field. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
A gain of 16 yards. And the Colts first down.
4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, it's Taylor. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Back to throw. Dancing to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. One thing that makes him so tough in these 2-minute drills, you got to take into consideration he's mobile.
And that's a big plus for him, but he also has to be careful with that mobility. Sometimes getting rid of the ball and stopping the clock is more important than running around and maybe taking a sack.
Going right, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 40.
Pardon, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
Here we go. Set. 50. Plant.
Stepping up. He's going to keep it. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Get ready. 60 outlaw.
They'll run on first down. It's Taylor. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go away.
Yeah, I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. They'll spot it at the 40. It's a 50-yard kick for the win. And he got it. He splits the uprights from 50 yards out. And the Hoosier State will celebrate tonight